You were doing good. I mean, going back to just family businesses, all this stuff got going on. You were living in Anaheim Hills, which is a nice spot.
Nice view of the city, yeah.
And then economy hit.
Economy and the IRS.
Ouch.
And the IRS, back then, before George Bush Sr., they had carte blanche. They did what they wanted. And they would accuse you of something, and too bad. You had to abide by it. Well, I didn't owe them any money, and so I fought. And it was an 8-year battle. But that battle really wiped me out. And I won. I got a little piece of paper that says, George Monsoor versus the IRS, pay nothing. I might have been better off just to write them a check. But I was young. I think I was 30 or something, 31. And so I just, that's wrong, and I'm going to fight for it. And maybe I should have negotiated. But that kind of money, 600 plus penalties, like $800,000. Back in the 70s, you're talking about buying $7 or $8 million houses in today's market. Yeah. So anyway, I fought, and then it really crushed us business-wise. And it was amazing, really, how strong our family was, because we went from a pretty nice life to me coming home one day after the banks called me and said, I have been gutted, and I had $29 in my pocket. And it was kind of struck me as like, I thought I'd feel bad about it, but it was just the money was gone. I still had my family, and you just work around it. And my income definitely changed. Got a job working as a security guard, and I took the job because they paid every Friday, and I wanted to make sure my kids had groceries. And so I just did that until I put some deals together, and it took a while.
And you moved from Anaheim Hills down to this when you moved down to Garden Grove?
Yeah, and this area wasn't the best, but it was a good experience for my kids. Mm-hmm. And because they would see when they'd come to the factory with me. Factory was down in L.A., and that was a pretty rough area. And they would see, looking out the window, at some of these people had it really tough. And we used to have a bear of a man that would sleep in front of the door on the porch every night. And he wouldn't say anything to me. It was more of a grunt all the time, and he probably had some mental problems. He was just a huge guy. And I asked him, I says, are you sleeping here every night? And it was just a kind of a grunt.
Was this of your house?
No, this was at the factory and down in L.A. And so I thought to myself, a guy that big, I got no problem with him sleeping here at night, because it was a rough area. Mm-hmm. So I would put blankets out for him. And he stayed there for years. Every morning I would come in, bring him a big breakfast burrito. He still hardly say anything, just grunts. And he would roll up his blankets and disappear all day. And then in the evening he'd come back. And the kids were fascinated with this guy. They wanted to be his friend, but he wasn't buying it. But anyway, they kind of saw that world. Now we're in an area where it's just a little bit of everything, a sprinkling of all kinds of nationalities, and it was a lower income area, and the kids were like, and from a nice, high school with all their friends are wealthy, they all go to Europe and all that stuff, which I didn't really like them around those kids all the time, because I didn't want them to think this is the way it is. Mm-hmm. I wanted them to see the other side. So it was a good experience. And you've met my kids. They're good with whoever.
100%. They
just roll with whatever. And the whole family's that way. So it was good for them. Sarah wasn't thrilled with it.
Sorry, Sarah.
But she ended up, being a leader on the basketball team, and all of the kids did great in sports. And it was just all in all, I think it was one of the best things that happened.